Hello knife freaks, this is Phil York from Phil York Knives, and we're in the Phil York Knives workshop tonight, and what you're looking at here is the platen of my Tag warm-up grinder, Tag 101, and you can see I've got it there, got the flat platen set up and it's in the recline position. And today necessity is the mother of invention, as they say, and I've just been given, I want to show you a little trick that I learnt for anybody out there sharpening, especially sharpening woodwork tools. And I've been given this small round gouge. So let me just get some light onto that. What it is, it's quite blunt, it's in pretty bad shape. Where are we? There we are. Quite blunt, in pretty bad shape. You can see it's a round gouge, and I've got myself a Tormek, which you can see just sitting up there, and I use that that's the big version of the Tormek, and these things, the Tormek handles round gouges pretty well. Unfortunately, these are got such a small shank, like that's like 25mm that length or something, that I can't get it to work. I won't go into any jigs or anything. So here's what I come up with. I've got a 1-inch belt here, which is just a 2x72 belt that I've split. It's into a 1-inch now. And I've got a couple of pieces of G10 there, which I'm going to use as sort of bridge pylons. And then they're 1.5mm. You've got to determine what height you want those to be. And another piece of 1mm G10. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put those pylons on the side of the belt there and put the bridge across the belt. So this is very much a jerry-built little jig that I've made, but it gets excellent results. Hopefully somebody out there might find this handy. You can see the jerry-built nature of this already with my little $2 shop clamps. So what we're going to do, we're going to use that as a bridge, and that's going to be like a jig to keep our distance, our angle correct where we're sharpening this thing. The other thing you need is some sort of rest, and you've just got to play around and figure. So I've got this hex wrench here, Allen key. I'm just going to clamp that on as well. Sitting it on one of the flats of the hexagon. Going to make sure that's square to the belt. Now, what we've got here, I'm just going to turn this on. I've coloured the back of this, you can see, in with a black crayon, a black texture, permanent marker. I'm going to turn the belt on. You can I'll just lift this up and give it, whoop, sorry about that. Give you a better look at this. You can see the bridge there with the belt running through it. I'll just show you how this works and the results it gets. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just do a little test run. Just going to touch very lightly. Check our angle there. Now you can see where that's touching, and you can see the damaged edge. And I think that's just about a good angle. By the time I take that edge out, I'm going to be very close to the original angle on this tool. I know people are probably wondering, oh, what about heat build up and everything? Well, have a look at this belt. It's running very slow. I've got a variable speed control on the grinder. This is as slow as it goes, and I'm not going to dwell on anywhere. Don't dwell, have a look. You can see it hasn't reached the edge yet. I'll do a few more runs. I was doing these freehands on my sharpening stones earlier on, but wasn't getting very good results. Very hard to go around a circular tool, a circular edge, and hold the exact same angle, and when you don't hold that angle, it's very obvious. You can instantly see it when you pick the tool up. It's not a very professional look at all. Give you another look at that now. So still not at the edge, but getting closer. This is running very slowly. I got very light pressure, very little heat build up. Got to be very careful because this, by the time I get to the edge, this is going to be a very fine edge. So we don't want to lose the temper out of the steel by overheating it. Getting close now. Almost up. You can see the damage on that edge. It's a very blunt tool. Hopefully when I give this back to the fellow who owns it, he's going to notice a marked difference in the cutting ability of this thing. This is a worn 220 belt because I've got a bit of metal to remove here. And in just a minute, when I reach this edge, which I'm getting very close now, I'm going to change over to a Trizac A16. This is about a 1200 grit belt. And I'm just going to do exactly the same thing and use that to polish up the edge. Almost there. Getting a burr in a couple of small spots, but not right across the edge at the moment. Normally this wouldn't take so long, it's just, well, you saw the extent of the damage to the edge of this thing. I was in a bit of a pickle because I took this on and sort of said to the fella, you know, if I can do something with it, I'll do it, otherwise I'll give it back and not charge you. Because they're such small shanks, I realised that it wasn't going to fit in any of my normal jigs, the Tormac or anything else. So yeah, and then I tried hand sharpening. As I said, the results were pretty dodgy. Didn't look like a professional sharpening job at all. Very hard to maintain a constant angle while you're rotating around a radius of an edge like this tool's got. I'm sure some people are out there can do it, but I'm not one of them. Getting close. Probably a little bit like watching grass grow. Watching this, but we're almost done. And then I'm just going to change my belt over and we'll hit this with the Trizac A16 belt, polish it all up, and you'll see what we've achieved. Now I'm pretty much on that edge now. Look at that. Where are we? There we are. So you can see I've hit that edge. None of the black left. That's not a bad looking job, but check this out. This is one of the problems. The jig has to be disassembled to change the belts, but you know, for a makeshift jig, it doesn't take long. On with the Trizac. Again, split to be a 1mm belt. 1mm belt. I'll just track it. That's it. So it's in the middle. Back on with our jig. So yeah, whoops. Very happy with the way this turned out as a concept, and I thought other people might be able to use it. Anybody who's a woodworker. Well, mainly really what this is for knife makers who do a bit of sharpening, I suppose, because who's got one of these machines sitting around unless you're a knife maker. But if you are a knife maker, oh, I'll just move this down a bit. I've got a bracket in the back that's interfering with me. There we go. square that up. Tool rest back into place. Just run out of room there. It really is a hodgepodge of different things that I had laying around, but just have a look at that edge and watch the difference this Trizec's going to make to it. We're going to get a nice polished edge. It shouldn't take too long at all. Starting to polish up nicely. Now, just go back, you know, at the end of this, go back to the start of this little clip and just have a look at the state of this edge. Have a look, I'll just pull this off in a second, I'll show you where we're at. There we go. So just have a look at that. Now, for the purposes of the video, that's all I'll do. But when I turn this off, I'll go and give it another minute or so on this and just get a real bright polish on there. And then what I'll do is I'll go and give it a few runs down this side on a strop, and then another dowel with a little bit of leather, thin leather wrapped around it, and I'll run along the inside there. And there is one very blunt, very damaged edge on the circular gouge, made good. Anyway, thank you knife freaks for watching. I hope that's of assistance to somebody out there, and I'll catch you soon.